Excuse me, I'm getting a cold. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Me down my horn. Getting a chest cold from freezing the last two nights prior. I I don't think I ever had to go through that in my entire life. I don't even recall my childhood being that cold. And to be put into that situation, I really can't. I'm having a hard time finding the words because of the situation that I was in. Just, and that was my biggest fear. And I kept saying, something's going to happen, and I couldn't put my finger on it, but something was telling me. I don't know, hey, Broken Patriot, if that was God telling me, but I did know the storm was coming. That's why I got the one propane tank filled, but because I left it on 2 nights prior, all night, on the third night, it ran out. Made no sense, but whatever. That's only a 30-pound tank. I just have some things I really would like to get off my chest. Can we hit the like button, guys? I don't like drama, but this is reality. This is what's going on. This is my life. I try to, I've added up how much money I've wasted renting at the campground and storage unit and all that since I left New York, and all the money, and got me thinking, more and more about why I guess I didn't listen to my inner self or my daughter. All I know is I will never ever be a people pleaser again. And I have to fight every tooth and nail in me to get back what I've paid for. But I got to put that on hold. I must have misunderstood what I was told about the truck and camper. So I'm back to square one, fighting for that. Just because I don't care if 10 times someone tells you, just because you said we can have it. My whole situation has changed drastically. And I wasn't thinking clearly, and that's the problem, My whole life, I just done please people and just think I have to do this and do that. When my husband would have said from the rooftops, it's about the Keeler family, and it always should be. Sorry for those who have to keep repeating myself, but you have no idea what this is like for me. It was very hard to sell my house. It was, losing Tom and Anna, I have not enough words to describe that pain. But to sell our family home because I could no longer afford it, and because it was just too big, and it was too big for me to take care of. And I was living in a state that was turning into a communist socialist state. I know this for a fact. I never would have sold my house if I would be going through what I am now. Even though what I just said. I could have been gone months ago if I just had the truck when I asked for it back the first time when I said I wasn't going to Texas. I could probably already be where I'm going to be going. But nope. She said we can have it. That's an entitled person. And they'll get theirs one day. pretty scary though. I mean, like, you know, I mean, 911 is for real emergencies, and it wasn't to the point where I had to call 911 because I dressed up in lots of layers. I got underneath the covers for 2 days in the camper. But when I saw my cat shivering and my daughter just had enough, that's when we had enough. And I reached out on social media. My phone was completely sucked ass for 2 days because the calls kept dropping. I couldn't even call a full phone call without it dropping. And my battery, after that night of that storm, I mean, it went down to 3%. I would charge it in my car, and I would make a phone call, and then it would shut down completely. So it was very frustrating. And I reached out on social media to a local group from Evansville, and people contacted the sheriffs for me, thank God. Because last night, the first night, the sheriffs showed up, took me to go get propane. I told them there was no way I was going to get on the road with the weather conditions, and the officer completely understood. He literally gave me a ride down to the road to the gas station to get the propane. Once this is all done with, I'm going to be ordering those guys a sheet pizza and have it delivered to the police station as a thank you gift. But I was so grateful that they did that. And then the second night, like I said, my phone was really acting up, and I reached out on social media again, and then the sheriff showed up again, and they were literally willing to give me a ride to a hotel or to a shelter. And they said, you know what, it's okay for me to drive my car. He goes, don't worry about it, even if you get pulled over or whatever. And so that's why we're here. You know, I'm very grateful. I reached another person on social media staying at the exact same hotel, so because my phone was dying, I private messaged that person, and she was like a stranger, and she reached out to me, and she felt really bad. But yeah, I wouldn't have known that this was available because, like I said, it was hard for me to even get on my phone, let alone make a phone call or reserve a room. I was kind of annoyed by that because I could have saved a lot of money using Booking.com, but my phone just would shut off. So I don't ever want to go through that again. So there are some things that I want to invest in case of another storm, like a couple battery packs, flashlights, candles. And you know what? Maybe I should have gotten that propane heater, but I've heard they're not really good in campers because of the poisoning of the gas, and you're not really supposed to use them in campers. But I mean, if it's an emergency, I would see if it's okay. But even when we were using the stove, because that would turn on very lightly the second night, and I had to shut it off because it was giving me a headache. And another thing I really want to get off my chest, and I think I'll end it here. 99% of the people don't understand me. The way I communicate, the way I come across things, it's becoming really annoying. And those people who don't know about neurodivergent and about autism and autism awareness and putting them, like, masking a lot, I do that a lot. And just look up these words with autism if you don't believe me. Acknowledge yourself if you're not acknowledged with what I have. And see how easily how it is for someone to take advantage of that, is all I gotta say. We got no likes. We got spies watching and screen recording this. I'm not mentioning any names. People want to figure it out, you can figure it out. I'm trying not to be angry, but like, at myself a lot. I should have had more control over. I should have believed in myself. It's like I want to cry. How this all went down. I deserve a home. I deserve to be able to buy a home. I sold my home to get a home. But not get a home that's falling apart or that needs a lot of work. How is that fair to me? Like, I'm not a carpenter, I'm not an electrician, I'm not a plumber, and I can't afford to buy a house and I can't afford even to buy a house that's TLC, put it that way, that needs a lot of tender love and care. If I just would have just said no half the time. Should have said in New York in the driveway that night on the way to Indiana, I just want to find half an acre of land and a mobile home. Why? And it was up here, but it couldn't come out here because I was afraid. I thought that I needed all this help, and like God reminded me, and He has been telling me repeatedly that, you know, I am smart. I'm not stupid. I'm not retarded. I have my, my difficulties, but I'm well loved, and He loves me, and He believes in me, and I got to believe in myself, and that I have to put both feet down and put the Keeler family, because it's about us, me, Nate, and Sarah, and our kitties. That's all that matters. A lot of electric trucks coming in and out. They should have been better prepared. They got to think of things like these, things like ice storms and snow plows and cutting tree limbs that are next to electric lines. I mean, in New York, they come down. In our little town, they would come down and cut the branches down if they got too tall or if they would be touching the line. And I don't know if it is like that in the state of Indiana where you can call your electric company and complain, but that needs to change. The governor needs to be doing some trimming, some trees and tree limbs alongside these lines and invest in better fiber cords or something. There's got to be ones where, I know in New York City, I've heard in New York, in Cleveland, Ohio, I guess, where it's a different type of material of electric cord that can sustain low temperatures. I don't know. I'm not an electrician. This is just what I'm coming from on a TikTok videos I'm watching. But they literally were not prepared at all. And the only reason why I know this is because I was in the hot tub the other night. Yeah, this place has a hot tub, but the only place that's pet friendly that was available. Anyway, electricians guys were swimming in the pool, and I overheard them talking to other people that were in there because they lost electric and they rented a room, and they were talking to these electric guys, and yeah, they were having this long conversation I was just overhearing. And these guys came out from Houston, Texas or something. I don't know. I think that's the area. But they were telling me, yeah, they weren't really prepared. 1 like, 6 watching. Damn. Anyway. I'm probably gonna get back in there. My daughter's probably like, where the heck are you? I just wanted to come in here and talk to you guys privately because I try not to give any of my burdens onto her, or you know what I mean, because she's 17 years old and she's been through enough. But thank you for all your prayers. Thank you for the community's prayers and kind words. Yeah. I could have been more prepared, I know, but financially I couldn't. Especially when the first of the month comes along, I try to get most of my bills all paid off. But I know there's less costly things that you could use, you know. Like, I wish I had a bunch of candles. You know, those like $2, $3 glass candles you can get at Walmart? I wish I had like 10 of those. But the problem is, the battery in the camper, once that went dead, I couldn't turn on the furnace to get a little bit of heat. It doesn't like work in all the rooms, but it was enough to get a little bit of heat. But when that battery died on that camper, that made it really worse. And that was the first night, which was what was it, Sunday night? At midnight, midnight's when the electric went out. And believe you me, campers are not really meant for camping in the winter. I mean, I know people do camp in them full year, but most people go down south with them. Maybe come up here during the summer, but they would go down south during the winter. I mean, my grandparents used to do that with their mobile home. We would go to Cheektowaga. Yeah, say that again. Cheektowaga, New York. That's where my grandparents lived. And they would go to North Fort Myers for the winter. A Black Watch. So I'm hoping, guys, I'm off that campground soon. My friends are working on it to get me and Sarah the heck out of there. Because I'm wasting money. And I don't have the truck. You guys don't know about that. I'll take care of that at a later time. I know I've been talking a lot about filing and stuff like that, but I actually got to file and fax or email or do whatever I got to do, because I can't go to Texas to file or write one personally. But I have talked to people on the phone, so I know what to do. I just have to put that on hold right now because, you know, with the storm and stuff like that, and getting to where I gotta go. That is my priority. Get the heck out of here, the state. I hope you guys are all well. I know I wanted to talk a little bit about California, but kind of got sidetracked there. My prayers are with California. I can't imagine. I saw how it got started, but I don't know if it's 100% true, but a lot of these homeless camps start fires, and that's how these fires start. And if that's the case, which it has been the case before, shame on the governor. He doesn't have any idea about fire management. If you want to get biblical, I think me and Herb are going to have that live stream soon. We're going to talk a little bit more about why all this stuff might be happening and stuff. We're close, I know that. I keep talking about this home I want. But I know my forever home's in heaven with Anna. I can't guarantee my husband's there. He loved Jesus, but he wasn't perfect. He wasn't a perfect man. I'm not a perfect woman. You're not perfect either. I hope he is, because I forgave him. And I want Sarah to make that step, but she's got to do that with her own heart and her own time. I literally kind of blamed him for a couple years for the accident. But I do know now that because of people's actions, and that's why God gives us choices, options, every one of us, and those actions and those that we have consequences, and those consequences we will be punished for that, because Jesus gives out rewards. And I don't know about you, but my reward is to be with Anna again and go and be in heaven with her when it's my time. A lot of people are stuck on this religious cult, and it's sad. How many times that me and Herb had to keep repeating about salvation and grace. All these churches, man-made churches, that's not Jesus's bride. I want to have a Bible study about that, just one day about that. Maybe I'll contact Herb and we can talk about Jesus' bride, because people don't understand. Does that actually mean a woman? No, it doesn't mean a woman. It doesn't mean a wife. Jesus is going to return for his bride. That means the one true church. And let me tell you, it's not one of these churches where you go to every Sunday and you think you got to get baptized to be saved. I've talked about that on Bible study, and if you don't believe me, then go to Pastor Robert Breaker on YouTube, because we follow his sermon, we break it down. Brother Herb would cover it, and then sometimes Brother Herb prepares his own study. But if you would like those videos, just email me at traintrump3@gmail.com, and I could be more than happy to forward those links. I haven't been able to get on that channel because that's on my Apple computer, and I haven't signed into that YouTube account literally since I left New York, unfortunately. But once I get that all taken care of, guys, I'll have access back to that channel. But I can go on the channel and share the link if that makes sense. I can subscribe to it for my Investigating Truth and then share the link that way. But I can't log into it and go live on it until I get the Apple computer. I don't even remember the password. Everything is written down on a notebook. I'm lucky if I remember my new password to my new email. I even told the officer I had to like stop 3 times because I don't think they were understanding what I was saying. And I remember one thing my speech therapist used to tell me, and I think I'm gonna really try to get, like I said, I've been wanting to get back into speech therapy. Anyway, so what do you guys think of all this stuff of you and what you're facing in 2025? If you don't want to comment now, comment after the video is loaded going. I want to know what your perspective is for 2025. What do you think is going to happen? Here's my take. I am so grateful President Trump won, but there are some things that he's doing that makes me question, and I'm not saying it's good and it's not bad. I have, my trust is in the Lord, you know, and very few people I know in my life right now. Do I 100% trust Trump? No. Do you? Because we have a system that is so against him. And you saw that House Speaker Johnson got back on board, but we know Johnson has kissed ass with the Democrats before. Are we starting to see a new change? Yeah, I've seen a few changes, like we're bringing single-handed bills, like one or like two bills together. We can no longer have, like I said, like 1,500 pages. We can't do that anymore. So we need to see a continuance of that. And we, the people, have to be acknowledged of these bills. And we better start caring. I think that's half our fault. We can't just blame these Democrats for the past 10, 20 years, because we could have been making phone calls, marching, protesting, going in the halls of the Congress office and Senate offices in D.C. and in your state, too, Capitol, where we representatives' offices are. We could have used our voices a lot sooner, I think. I don't know. I think for far too long, most of us, we just get by just because. And we can no longer do that. We can't stay silent. Because you cannot 100% count on your representative, your congressman, your senator, your governor. I mean, hell. I don't know about you, unless you can tell me someone you 100% trust out there. This whole thing is just full of ice, and these people are getting out of their cars, and I'm just waiting for, especially myself, to wipe out. See, in New York, they would have plowed better, especially a hotel parking lot. And they put down salt, too. Not here. They only put it down maybe in the front door, the side doors. The whole parking lot is like a sheet of ice. The guy's got a big trailer. I don't really want to talk about the trailers right now. Anyway. I'm going to let y'all go. I hope all is well. As far as I know, it might be going back to the campground tomorrow. I don't know. I hate to head back and then electric go back out. I get there, goes in and out, whatever. And then because it's supposed to get really cold tonight and tomorrow night, I believe I saw. So we'll see, and I'll let you guys know, but I appreciate it because literally, like I said, especially that yesterday morning, like I could not make the phone calls I needed to. Really. If I would have booked if I would have had enough battery on my phone, I would have saved money probably booking the hotel. It would have been easier finding a pet-friendly hotel too. But sometimes with that being said, you always got to call just to ask because it's just a nice thing to do. One, two, three, four, five, six. I think there's maybe 4 electric trucks, and probably there's guys I've seen come in their personal trucks too with those type of jackets those electricians wear. I don't know. Anyway. Alrighty, guys. I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you for hitting the 3 likes. That's good. I love you guys. Please stop being so shy. I mean, I get it. We have spies, but the lurkers, at least say hi. Oh, the Lincoln Riley bill passed the House. Did you see how many Democrats voted against it? I haven't had a chance to get that list, but what I did was I posted the link to the bill and the community thing. So if anybody wants to go check that out. I'm sure the list of names are already on X if you want to look them up, but could you imagine not just 1, 2, but I think they said, I got to look at the exact amount again. What was it, 150 something? Democrats voted against it. Can you imagine? But yeah, we can imagine because this is what they are. They're not for the American people. They're not for protecting your daughter, your sons, your nieces, your nephews, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. They don't care. Anyway, I even heard Featherman, whatever his name is, voted for it. You know, the guy who all of a sudden from Ohio. Starting to be a mega guy. And I think it's so he can run in 2028. But I don't trust him, do you? He's been saying some good things, yes, but we've seen this before. We'll know less than what, a week and a couple days, right? It was nice to see Trump walk into the Capitol today. He looked a little bit tired. He needs to smile more. But yeah, he met with the senators today. So let's pray for him. Let's keep praying for him. Inauguration's coming up. Pray for his family, J.D. Vance and his wife and his kids. Because, you know, they went after him once, went after him twice. They're not going to stop. And you know who they are. Love you all. Keep praying for Trump. If you can keep me in prayer and my daughter. I'll give you guys an update tomorrow. I got to make a decision, like I said. Should we head back to the campground or give it another night? Because it's supposed to be cold, like I said, tonight, tomorrow. And God forbid this happens again. I had no way to charge that battery. I need a certain plug, the officer told me. But he showed me, so I know now where that plug is to charge it, which was good to know. Probably best to get a whole new battery, but like I said, I have less than 7 weeks. I listed it for sale on Craigslist and Marketplace, and I don't, I haven't heard anything yet, but then again, I've been off social media. I got to read my email. Because I have no way, I can't afford to rent a truck to pull it. I could have just imagined how much total it would be from A to point B where I'm going. Those trucks, those tow truck rental things or whatever that can pull a fifth wheel that you can run. I don't know what they're called. Whatever. Damn expensive. I love y'all. I don't know. I'm just frustrated today. You can tell. Not at you. God knows who I'm frustrated with. And I'm giving it to him. I really am. It's just hard. It really is. Love y'all.